So how's it going today, guys? Back here with another video, kind of bringing a different type of video today. I kind of have some thoughts on this video specifically because it's a hot topic in the community right now with how hard it is to get these GOAT cards, man, and how hard it is to get pieces, etc. I think that some things get blown out of proportion. There's a lot of stuff in this video that I do agree with, but there's other things that I think aren't really being taken into account. And it kind of goes with a lot of things in the Myteam community. Same with cards. You know, I think TyDeBo is really, with his tier list, he really rates all the expensive cards pretty highly, kind of doesn't rate budget cards very highly, where DBG is the exact opposite. But I think everyone's kind of on the train that GOAT cards and everything are just way too expensive, which I am as well. But I do have some thoughts that about some of the stuff that was said in this video, so I kind of wanted to watch it, react to it. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. Let's just get into it. I'll be pausing it, when I have something to say and everything, and I just, I do have a few thoughts, so yeah. Before we do get into it, though, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. We do Myteam content here. Please make sure to leave a like on the video, too. That is always very much appreciated. But yeah, man, let's just, let's get into it.
What's up, y'all? It's Ty, and in this video today, we're going to be looking at Troydan's video, NBA 2K25 Gambling GOAT Challenge. Now, I'm not going to be going through watching him open all of his packs. I'm just not, because he does a recap at the end of this thing that I really want to hit on and talk about where we're really at as a game right now, with all things considered. Because, I mean, look, Troydan, as always, opens a ton of packs, right? Like, he does. It's what he does, okay? And in past years, he's basically been able to, if he doesn't get the card, go and get the card via the auction house, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But just look at the numbers here and let it sink into yourselves, okay? So that's what I want to hit on here. And also, I've got some things that I want to talk about as well. But let's look.
And this is kind of the issue, right? Is a lot of people, in past years, okay, you pull one of the high tier cards as the one that you don't want, you can sell it, and then you can get your MT, and then you can buy the card that you do want. And I think people are thinking like, oh, I'm getting all this MT, it doesn't do any good for me. But you'll see at the end of this video, Troydan gets, like 10 million MT back or whatever it is from selling all the cards that he does pull. And it's something that's talked about later in the video, of course, so I'm kind of getting into it a little bit early here. But yeah, you can't, in theory, buy the GOAT KG, but you can use that 10 million MT on packs and get a ton more GOAT cards. And I think that that's something that is not really being taken into account.
Okay, so he's going to start with some statistics that I want to talk about.
It wasn't even a Galaxy Opal. Today I opened 1,081 packs.
Okay, so 1,081 packs, that is like 21 50-pack boxes, plus an extra 10 packs. So that is a ton of money. I mean, that is a ton of money for sure. And you should not, no one should ever have to open up that many packs.
Okay.
For sure.
1,081 packs opened. That is a crazy amount of packs, okay? A 450.
Exactly.
For 450 VC, which is what, $100, you can get 50 packs. Let that sink in. So you're opening up 2,000 USD worth, I think is the right math here. Crazy. $2,000 of packs opened up by Troydan. You think $2,000 would be enough for the best car?
9,592,500 VC.
That is an absurd amount of VC.
9,600,000 VC.
Which is an equivalent of $3,151 Canadian.
Okay, now I'm on a converter.
That's a little bit less US, but yeah, that's a boatload of money.
Because I'm not smart enough to know Canadian to USD. This Actually, yeah, okay, I did it backwards. All right, so $3,151, basically 2,300 of USD. 2,300. I said 2,000. 2,300 USD
No one should
on
have to
these
spend that
packs.
much on packs.
2,300. Mind you, that's a house payment. That's a year dang near of groceries. That's like you can do so much with that much amount of money. Okay.
After tax.
After tax. Okay, after tax. So yes, obviously,
Yeah, I mean,
if you
that's a
purchase
down payment on a
450, you're
car.
gonna get taxed, $7. Taxes, it is what it is. That's USD. I don't know.
Received 5 Kevin Durant.
5 KDs can sell those for a million a piece, a little more. So I mean, that's good MT right there.
6 Giannis Antetokounmpo.
6 Giannis's. That's gonna sell for a lot of MT too.
13 Tony Parkers and 1 Invincible Kristaps.
Y'all notice how it's weighted, right?
So 25 slow shakes is what that was, right? I believe that math is correct. Not one 100 overall LeBron pull, which is very interesting. So yeah, 13 out of 25. That's a little bit over 50% chance. Not all of these came from toppers, obviously, because the math was, okay, he opened like 21 50-pack boxes. So that means that he got like 4 slow shakes in the regular packs, which is pretty low. It is very low. So on a slow shake, whether it's topper or not, there's a slightly, from this little sample, it's not a little sample, it's a lot of packs. But as far as all the packs opened by everybody, it's a little sample. 13 out of 51 were Tony Parkers. That's just over a 50% chance.
He pulled more Tony Parkers than KD, Giannis, and LeBron combined. Y'all notice how that's weighted? 2K will give you the odds of pulling. They won't even do that. They'll say less than 1%. But y'all notice how weighted.
And this is something that should not happen. Tony Parker, all the 100 overalls should be an equal chance to pull. Weighted odds are something that is very grimy. It's not okay. It's not something that they should do. It just feels like something it's just not right, man, for Tony Parker to be weighted like that. It's not going to, I think 2K is worried about, okay, if someone pulls a couple Tony Parkers out of 51-pack box, they're going to keep ripping. Well, okay, I kind of get that. And I think that they're kind of worried, like, these cards are going to be more attainable. They're going to be cheaper, like the KDs, Giannis's, and LeBrons of the world, because there's going to be more of them. I promise those cards are still going to be expensive, and people are going to still keep ripping, man. So I don't know why. I think it actually deters people more from opening packs doing these weighted odds, which is something I don't think that 2K really thinks about.
It is. Like, it's weighted in such a negative way that's always made me mad, right? He did pull Invincible KP. So, like, out of his pulls, out of his packs, which, again, I actually think Troydan didn't even have the worst luck, which I'll talk about a little bit more here. Like, he did pull an Invincible. He pulled a lot of Giannis's, a lot of KDs. He ended up getting a decent amount of MT, right? He did. Like, a lot of MT worth because there's a lot of MT in circulation right now. So, again, MT-wise, he's probably going to be over, from these packs, 10 million MT. But that does not matter when you look at what the bigger story here is, okay? So, yes, he could sell everybody and get MJ. He could. Like, realistically, he could.
And a grand total of 0 GOAT matters.
0 GOATs in 1 Invincible card with 2,300 USD.
That's pretty absurd.
That just bugs me, man. Like, I get pack odds are bad, but that is horrible.
A lot of 100 overalls, though. And 100 overall Giannis and KD both go for more than Invincible Hondo and Invincible Steph. Invincible Kristaps goes for like 4 million. KD, Giannis, I think LeBron's like 2 million. And then KD and Giannis are both like between 1 million and 1.5 million. So it is actually better to get a bunch of KD or a bunch of Giannis pulls than Hondo or Steph Curry. But still, even with that being said, 1 Invincible pull from $2,300, I mean, that's pretty absurd.
And people have fun ripping packs. Like, how? I get if you want to rip a 50 box, but how?
Packs are fun to open if you're not going into debt and you're worried about the money that you're spending on them. If you get packs as a gift, if you get PlayStation gift cards for birthday, Christmas, whatever, you have a bunch of expendable money, you drop $100 on a 51 box, then packs are fun to open. And packs are also really fun to open with MT because it's just, if you hit, it's just a really good feeling, man. And a lot of people like to open packs. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are spending money that you don't have, or it's putting you in a financial detriment, that's not good, man. You need to step away for a little bit, for
How
sure.
do you have fun ripping all of those packs, man? That's not fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
don't forget
this
about the
many
Festival
opened
of
is not
Champions event cards. You might be wondering how many GOAT ones I have. You might think maybe I could get Kevin Garnett. It's 35 GOAT cards for goddamn KG. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
He's got
Okay, this is where I think that stuff gets blown out of proportion a little bit. 9 GOAT cards out of 21 50-pack boxes. That's not great. But he spent, whatever it was, $2,300 on packs. If he would have opened the 3 Hoff boxes that you can buy in the game on console, plus the Hoff box that you can buy on mobile, he would have like another whatever that is. I think it's like there's that option pack in there plus another one. So then that's like 6 GOAT pieces for the 3. And then I think you get 3 more from the mobile one. That's like 9. So if you spend another $400, you can get 9 GOAT pieces. And it's going to be the same thing next weekend. So he could have enough for D Wade right now if he opened up all the Hoff boxes. If he opened up the Hoff boxes this weekend and next weekend. And that's another thing too, is people, I think, don't take into account this event still has like 2 weeks left, man. We got, the pieces are going to be in packs again on Friday, and then there's going to be a whole until the drop the Friday after those packs are going to be there. These pieces are still going to be attainable. There's going to still keep being challenges and stuff. Everyone thinks that these cards with this event, they like equate it with the drop last Friday, the Champions drop. Okay, I need to get these cards as soon as possible. No, man, you've got a lot of time, and you don't just want to be mindlessly ripping so that you can get the card as quick as possible. I mean, Kevin Garnett is going to be a top 10 card for probably the rest of the year. So you don't need to rush this. And I think that that's what they fail to forget that, really. Now, if you're going for pieces, you don't want to be ripping 51-pack boxes, man. You need to open up those Hoff boxes from the one from the mobile app, and then the 3 from just the regular game as well. So
9 GOAT cards for opening packs. And then he talks about it later, and I'll just play it a little bit more. I'll play it a little bit
I
more.
got 9. I spent $3,100 and got 9. 4 or 5 more that I could get from exchanging. But that's
So, okay, by exchange.
Right, so another 4 or 5. So if he opens up the Hoff boxes this weekend and next weekend, he gets another 5, plays some of the events, he's going to be pretty close to KG, which is still a ridiculous amount of money. But people are saying, it's $10,000 for Go Kareem. You're going to have to spend close to You don't have to spend that much, man. Trust me. It's still, I understand it's still an absorbent amount, whatever the word is. But it's probably more like between 1,000 and 2,000, I would say, if you're opening up the Hoff boxes and stuff. Still a ridiculous amount, but it's not like $10,000 like
He could get up to, like, let's say 15. Let's round up and say he could get 6. That's 15. That's not even halfway to Kevin Garnett. And when I told you guys that Kareem costed, $5,000 or more, you guys called me, some people called me crazy. Guys, this is
he would cost $5,000 or more if you only opened 51-pack boxes, yes. And didn't play at all, didn't do anything, just open 51-pack boxes.
And people actually do this. People actually get KG. People actually get...
Yeah, people already having these cards like last Friday is ridiculous, man. It's not a race.
It's insanity, dude. And y'all notice how KG is more expensive than Kareem was? 2K is literally seeing how far people will go. And I'm glad that Troydan isn't just like, yeah, I'm going to do it until I got to do it. Because a lot of people are like that. They have no limits. Like, at least Troydan is done. Like, when he gets to a certain amount, he's done. Because this is ridiculous, guys. He spent $2,300 USD and didn't even get halfway to Kevin Garnett. What is there really?
That is ridiculous, but again, he didn't, go about the smartest way. He wasn't really going after pieces. He was just opening packs to open packs, which I get it. The Hoff boxes suck, okay? 51-pack boxes are way more fun to open. Everything's auctionable. All the stuff you're getting out of the Hoff box is unauctionable. But if you really want Kevin Garnett, you need to open up the Hoff boxes.
To talk about here. This is insane. Insane.
It still is not even close to what? I didn't even realize I spent 9.5 million VC. I got a ton of these cards here to sell.
Now, I will say, he will get a lot of MT from selling these cards. That's one thing I keep coming back to because it is valid. Like, he's going to end up getting probably 10 million MT.
Hoping I get a little bit back. But I mean, there's no way. I got so many Tonys. There's no one in the world that wants Tony, not even his ex-wife's. My goal today was to attempt the GOAT Gambling 2K Challenge. But I did not anticipate losing the game and then also not getting anything.
Because, I mean, honestly, Troydan probably thought, okay, at the end of it, even if I don't pull MJ, guess what? I'm going to be able to go get KG. Nope, you can't. The only thing Troydan can do if he wants a GOAT card is sell all of those players and then go buy MJ, which he can, but it's just sad. Like, it's just sad on a couple of levels. It's sad how bad the pack odds truly are. I'm sorry, but if you put 2,000 USD into a game, 3,000 whatever Canadian, you should get the GOAT card. Like, I don't know how else there is to phrase it. You should get the GOAT card because that is ridiculous.
Sure. I agree with that.
And honestly, if it wasn't for the 100 overall toppers that he probably got, again, I didn't watch all of it, but he probably didn't have that much pack luck at all. Mind you, he can't even get Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, he got it was like 5 or 4 100 overall or higher from just the normal packs, which is very, very bad odds for over 1,000 packs. I mean, that's not good. And we've seen it before. Troydan's pack luck is some of the worst you'll ever see. I mean, it really is.
With spending that much money on the game, I genuinely, I'm stunned, but I shouldn't be stunned because I know the math behind it. It's the same thing as Kareem was. It is the exact same thing. And even the Bob Pettits of the world, and this is another thing I want to hit on. The Bob Pettits of the world, they're so expensive as well, right?
Bob Pettit is really expensive, but if you could get Bob Pettit for under $1,000 over the course of 2 weeks. That is a ton of money, yes, but a lot of people rip that many packs anyway just because they enjoy, ripping packs. Under $1,000 in 2 weeks is, if you're taking into consideration the whole community, is not that ridiculous. I mean, it's really not. There's plenty people that do that, enjoy doing that. It doesn't put them into financial detriment. Yes, he is very expensive. He's not nearly as expensive as GOAT Kareem or GOAT KG for Bob Pettit, because I believe he was, 23 invincible tokens? But not that insane.
And so, it's not even just the top dogs, it's the other people that come with it. And I want you guys to know, there are people that with this event that will get KG and Dwayne Wade and spend over $10,000 over the course of the next 2 weeks on this game.
Yeah, you don't need every card.
And I just keep coming back to 2K is gonna see how far people are willing to go. Because if people are willing to go this far on a video game for cards that you have to lock in that you will never be able to.
What they need to do, they're not going to do it. But what would really help is making these exchange cards auctionable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can trade in a GOAT piece for 150 KMT if you trade down to diamonds and everything. So that means that they would probably go for, on the auction house, given the time it takes to do that, probably like 125K or so. So then Kevin Garnett would end up being, they would probably make him more GOAT tokens if that was the case, like 50 or something. But then that would make it so, a GOAT piece goes for 125K. That would be 1 million would get you 8 GOAT tokens. So then they could make Kevin Garnett like 80 GOAT tokens, and then he would be like 8 million MT. They could do, I think that would be great. I mean, I think they're not going to do it. They're not. I mean, it just isn't in their best interest. But imagine how much easier this would make it too. If you get a GOAT piece and want to sell it, you can just sell it. You don't have to do all the trading down and anything and everything. You can just sell it and get your 125k MT, and then people that are trying to get KG can work towards it. Then he's like 8 million MT. You are locking in that MT, which is something to keep in mind. You know, it's not like you're just buying a card that you can resell, which kind of stinks, but
that would not be on your team a month from now, I don't know what people won't do. I genuinely don't. So that's where I'm at with this. I'm super glad Troydan did the math for us, because this is sickening, y'all.
I mean, I should have been used to goddamn not get anything, but I thought I was gonna win. Today will be a lesson to never do this ever again. This was my largest
Troydan, you're gonna do it again, though. You're going to.
Of all time.
What? This was really his largest pack opening of all time? And he... See, that this is what's crazy, because I used to think Troydan was crazy for opening up like $2,000 worth of packs and not pulling the best card. But not only that, he can't even get KG.
And I was thinking about this too, right? Troydan has 5 or 6 hour streams of pack openings, but that was before the 51 pack box, man. That was when it was 20 boxes, and he would sit there and open 20 boxes for 5 hours, talk about the game, you know, go over in the auction house, whatever. But 1,058 or 1,081 packs, however many it was that he opened, 1,050 something. That is so many 20 boxes. Say that the 20 bucks was still, you know, the top. So I was thinking, oh, there's no way this is the largest pack opening. But when you think about how many packs that really is, I do believe that this very well could have been his largest pack opening.
Come on, 2K.
With the least amount of reward I've ever had.
Come on, 2K. At some stage, 2K, things gotta change. I mean, I know you're making a ton of money off these people right now, but at some stage, you've got to change the way you're doing things. You have to. Because, I mean, for the...
Make the event pieces auctionable. It literally fixes everything. I'm not even kidding. It does.
Community, guess what? You're pushing everybody that plays your game away. Whether they want to admit it or not, eventually that's what's going to happen. Yeah, they're going to have the gamblers, but that's really it. And even a guy like Troydan, you spend that much money and get not rewarded whatsoever. I mean, it just stinks. Like,
the events and all this, that's not pushing people away. You know, 2K's profits are higher than they've really ever been right now, as we know. The events, the pack odds, that's not what's pushing people away. What's pushing people away from opening these 51-pack boxes, they would have sold so many more 51-pack boxes this weekend if the odds were equal for getting Tony Parker, Kevin Durant, LeBron, and Giannis. If they were all 25% odds at the 100 overall topper, so many more people would have opened 51-pack boxes. Not saying, I'm just saying. I mean, it's just facts, man.
I don't even have the words for it. It just thinks, yes, you make MT, but that's not what Troydan wants right now. Troydan doesn't want MT, guys. If he wanted MT, guess what? He could get MT. Like, that's not what he wants. He wanted to pull the GOAT card. He wanted to be able to lock in for KG. And
so, yeah, I understand that Ty's upset, and I get it. You know, these 10 million MT on the surface doesn't do anything for him, but he could use that to open up over 500 more packs and get a lot more GOAT pieces. So, I mean, if he wants GOAT KG, he doesn't care about any other cards, he should sell everything and open up more packs. And then in another 500 plus packs, he would get more cards that he could sell, and eventually he would probably be able to get GOAT KG just with that 10 million MT that he got back. Keep recycling.
Guess what?
You know?
Neither of those things Troydan could do. That's going to wrap it up for my video today. But this needs as much attention as ever because this is getting out of hand. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you already.
It is kind of bad. I do believe that there are some things that could be changed for sure. I think the event pieces being auctionable would quite honestly, just fix everything. I mean, they even tried to help out the community this time, because there used to be, 3 different pieces for each tier. Now there's only 1 piece for each tier. So they purposely did that to make the exchange method easier to get back MT. That really helps out the community. That was a huge W on 2K's part. No one's really talking about that, but that is something that does go a long way. But if they made these event cards auctionable, man, it is not going to make the event cards auctionable, make the odds equal for cards of a certain tier. I get it. You don't want Invincibles or Goat MJ to be as easy to pull as those 100 overalls. You don't want 100 overalls to be as easy to pull as Dark Matters. Each tier, it should be harder to pull. But the cards in a specific tier need to be equal odds. It is actively losing 2K money for that not being the case. Because everyone saw on Friday, HTB, Killzamoy, all the huge pack openers, all got Tony Parkers. Just Tony Parker after Tony Parker after Tony Parker. So then people watch that, and then they're like, I'm not going to waste $100 on a 51-pack box to get Tony Parker. So the odds being skewed thing, that needs to be fixed. Making the event cards auctionable would be such a massive W. It would fix a lot of things, man. Because then people are inclined to open packs because they're like, okay, if I pull a couple of these GOAT pieces, that's, $300K right there. I might not pull a really good card, but I might get $300K just because I pulled a couple GOAT pieces. So there's just those 2 things would benefit the community and 2K as a whole so much. And then kind of my closing thoughts on the cost. It does not cost over $5,000 or $10,000 to get a GOAT card like people say. It does if you just rip 51-pack boxes. It does if you're not smart about it. But if you're smart about it, you can get a GOAT card for under $2,000, and you can get an Invincible card for under $1,000. And that's just with opening packs. If you take advantage of the free pieces, if you open packs with MT, you grind the auction house, get MT. I don't think it's possible to get a GOAT card for free unless you're on the game 24/7, but I think that you could get an Invincible card for free if you really know what you're doing within the game. So, yeah, I think it's just under $1,000 for an Invincible card, just under $2,000 for a GOAT card, but that's only if you are ripping packs.
And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.
Yeah, but hope that you guys enjoyed this type of video. I just had a lot of thoughts on, people's opinions with this event and everything, and just some thoughts on that video as a whole. So hope that you guys enjoyed this type of video, man. We'll be back with more of my team content soon. Before you head out, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a like on the video, man. That is always much appreciated. But with all that being said, man, I will see you guys in the next video.